Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Rocks. Be hitting you with a manga review today. So this video is gonna be a little different. Um, Sipping on some Red Hook IPA. Picked it up at my local 7-Eleven. It's pretty cheap, like $3. So I say, why not? It says here made in Seattle, Washington, 1981. It's not bad. It's alright. Today, like I said, we're gonna be reviewing a manga. This is by publisher KC. It's Kodansha Comics. There's a logo in case you're curious. This is Battle Angel Alita. Volume 1. This is a hardcover. This collects 2 volumes in one. So if you're familiar with manga, each volume is about 200 pages. So this will cover a little over 400 pages. It'll be 400 pages of the 2 volumes. You get a few extras and sketches or whatever, so it'll be about 420 or so pages. That's the cover. It's a very nice book. It's oversized manga. This is an oversized hardcover as far as manga go, but it's really oversized manga is really the size of a regular standard edition hardcover in Western comics. It's about 10 inches tall. I believe 7 wide. Yeah, it's very nicely built, nice sewn binding. You can see right there. Let's get a little more into the binding. You see, it opens up nicely. That's just that thing right here. That's just the bands. That's just to cover this up. It really doesn't affect the binding, and it lays pretty flat. You see, very nice. It's glossy pages, which usually in manga you get that new stock paper, which I sort of like more a lot of the time, because when I read it's under a light, so I don't get that glare going. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you saw the binding, you saw the cover, and manga you open right to left. Okay, now another thing about this is most mangas in black and white. This book itself is it has a few color pages in there. The beginning of each issue has 2 or 3 color pages up to issue like 3. So this is about 13 issues. This is written by Yukito Kishiro. Cover price is $29.99. $30 for a nice hardcover of this quality and 400 plus pages. That's a real good deal. That's a great deal. So now that we got a brief idea of the physical quality, the amount of pages, the author / artist, illustrator. Oh, you know what? Let me get a little bit into the synopsis of this. It says back here, it's this guy named Ito finds a head and a torso of a cyborg girl, amnesiac cyborg girl. So he finds the head, and then the head is basically where the memory chip is. So as long as you find the head, you could build the rest of the body, and that robot the body can be replaced, basically, just not the head. The reason these nice hardcover editions were released was, as you read here, it says soon to be a major motion picture. So a movie of this is coming out soon, and so they're trying to cash in on it and make the hardcovers, make it in a fancier format instead of that regular small paperback. This is definitely worth the purchase. As far as the content is subjective, we might not all like the same thing, but the physical quality, the effort it took to make these and so forth, your money's worth. The one thing about these, it's 5 volumes at $30 each. So if you're familiar with manga, some go 100 volumes or whatever. 5 to get a full complete story is not bad. It's a little bit of commitment, but 5 is not bad compared to other manga. So just thought that was worth mentioning, because some are just one book, you get the full story. Okay, so let's get into some of the interiors and bonus content and so forth. Alright, so here we go. Battle Angel Alita. It's a cyberpunk classic. There you go. It's it is in a dystopian, it's not really a dystopian future, but yeah, it's in a cyber future. Deluxe edition. Let's check out the back. Ooh, James Cameron. Just a great kick-ass story. Nice. Love James Cameron as a director. So it's high praise. If he gives you some credit, you take it, homie. Alright, let's start with the front. This original page is just blank. Second page, basically it's the cover, same thing, but sideways. Here you get a foreword by Brendan Fletcher. He talks a little bit about the story and the writer, and you know. Now here's another page. See, you get some decent promoting other stuff. Here you see this is the manga in color. I enjoyed it in color. I would like if the whole series, the whole book was in color. Look at this page though. It's a 2-page spread. Look, you hardly get any gutter loss. Check that out though. Man, this art is good. These pencils are nice. It looks good in black and white or color. It really don't matter. But I like to have color in my books to kind of separate the characters sometimes. Sometimes when they're all in black and white, everything could get meshed in together in the panels and it can be a little confusing. So there's some of the pages in color. That's Alita. I'll give you a rough review right now. Let me just show off a few of the pages so you can see some of the art. Look at that, that's brutal. Her head got blown off. Man, this shit ain't fucking around. Look, there's the jaw. There's the ear. Look at those pencils though. Some nipple action there. That's almost the style they drew this woman. It's almost like a Western comic. Because manga tends to draw them a lot thin and not curvy, and she's definitely was not that. Manga tends, I don't know if it's just me, they draw them like looking younger. Okay, I'm not gonna get into more pages. Look at this, the shadings, it's the smoke right there, the detail on it is real nice. Now let's get into some of the bonus content at the end. All right, you don't get a lot in as far as bonus content. You get this. And they let you know here, oh look at that. They explain some of the Hasama on the language, because this is originally in Japanese. All manga mostly usually is. So when they change it into English, sometimes they change some of the words around and it doesn't translate exactly the same. See some translation notes. You get a little bit of that, how the process of how it got turned into, how it got westernized basically for an English audience. And here you go, they're promoting right here, Alita Last Order. Which is a lot different here. So this is a different series. After you collect the 5 volumes, Cyberpunk Legend is back. You would start a new story that's about 5 omnibuses. Each omnibus contains, I think, 3 volumes, so it's about 15 volumes. A lot longer than the original series. Depending on how I like this one, if I pursue the rest of them, then I will continue with that one. Okay. Now that we saw some of this, I didn't want to get into the spoilers, so I didn't want to flip to too many other pages. Let me give you a brief review and thoughts of what I think about the book. If you guys read this before, feel free to post your comments on the bottom, your opinions. You know, we don't always gotta agree. We could like different stuff. But now I'm gonna get into my thoughts and my opinions here of this book. Damn, when it first started, it runs about 400 pages, the stories, and I think it even breaks it down into chapters, like issues. So it's 13 chapters, basically like 13 issues, which I liked. It helps me keep track of stuff. I could read a issue at a time or whatever. Okay, so I like that, and I'll say about the first 150 pages or so, they find this character Alita. She's very likable. I like the character. She's a little bit naive because she's a cyborg. So everything is new to her. She's barely learning everything as she goes. Everything is new experiences. But she's more than just a cyborg. You start finding out she's becoming like a real person. Her AI is evolving, and she's starting to have feelings and motivations and reasons to live like a human would have in his life. He'll have, you know, goals, motivations, and so forth. And his actions aren't just blind, like usually your actions will be based on reacting to other stuff or on goals you're trying to achieve. So she starts changing, very much human. Ito, also another very likable character. He finds that cyborg, he creates her, gives her a body and so forth, because he had just found the head and the brain. gives her a body, and he has his own goals for her. He wants her to be a regular human, blend in with people. As she starts getting her own mind and own goals, they're not the same as Ito's. You see what I'm saying here? So here we're having a little friction. And I like that because then this turns into, she goes from being like idolizing him because he saved her and so forth, and she's learning about humans and about how to be. Everything she learns is new, and everything she's learning is through him. So she kind of goes from idolizing him to then having her own goals and so forth. And they're not necessarily the same goals that he has for her. So she's like, I have my own goals, my own aspirations. And now she goes from idolizing him to not despising him, but being like, I'm going left when you're going right. You see, so they argue and stuff, and it turns into kind of a father-daughter relationship. She's rebelling, wanting to do her own thing. And you see that he does care about her. He can argue with her, and he may be right most of the time, but not always. And he starts understanding that you know what, you gotta let her draw her own path and ride or die by her own sword. You know what I'm saying? And so he accepts it, and he says, you know, let her do her own decisions, and she'll learn from them on her own. She's never gonna learn shit if she just does what I say. So he accepts it and so forth. I like the characters. You have a villain introduced early on, and he's very like one note, and they had these long drawn out fights that go for like 20 pages. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it's not 20 pages, but it sure felt like 20 pages or more. I'm like, wow, is this fight's gonna end yet? Then when it ends, they meet up again and they fight again, another long drawn ass fight. So I was like, wow, I'm really like not liking this. Like, it's too much action non-stop, full throttle, and not enough story for me. I wasn't liking that. But once we got into about 150, 200 pages, that kind of stopped. In the second half of the book, it really got more into characters and character development and story. And then the book really shined, in my opinion. That's when it really shined. Because before that, it felt like a Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, where it's just random fights. You bump into someone, you just fight for no reason. A Street Fighter comic, which I'm not with. It's not my thing. I can't do that for 15 issues or whatever. I could do it maybe for one. And so yeah, we really got into the characters. You got to see the relationship build and evolve from one thing to another. You got to see her get humanized, and she's not just a cyborg, and she's not just a follower. You also get introduced to some other characters, and they all have their own goals and so forth, right? Everybody has their own aspirations in life, and this can bring problems again, like I said. You have this other young cat, I forget his name, but I really wasn't digging him. He's douchey, and she catches feelings for him, and these are all new feelings to her. She's like, why do I like him? He's a boy, and this and that. And the dad's worried. Ito, with a father figure, he's like, great, she's gonna start being into boys, and she's not ready for this and so forth. And you get to find out this character she likes he's not a good person. Let me just put it that way. But I like that the book does not hold your hand. They don't explain to you he's not a good person, because in superhero comics, you're gonna say like, oh, there's the villain, I'm gonna take over the world, whatever, and he's telling you he's the villain. He's not telling you he's the villain. He's just doing his thing, and it's up to you to catch on to the shit he's doing. It's kind of shady. It's like, hey, this fool ain't all right, you know what I mean? He ain't right, you know? So I like that they do that. They don't point out what's what. You just figure it out on your own as you're going. You judge for yourself. It's not being told to you. Because I hate when books get watered down and the writer just dumb shit down, where he's just telling you this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, this is good, this is bad. Just tell me what the characters are doing and let me decide from my own if that's good or bad. See what I'm saying? So it really got good at the second half. I was digging it. I'll be picking up volume 2, checking it out, and I highly recommend it. I would give the first half like a 4. It wasn't all there, but the second half really shined. That was like a 9.5 for me. So I'll balance it out somewhere at like I'm gonna hit it with like a 8. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. That's my review right there. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. And I got my descriptions down below. Follow me on Goodreads. Follow me on Twitter. Those are the 2 I'm the most active in. And check out my reviews on Twitter. On Goodreads. Check out my reviews. I already wrote a review on this and I already added it to my list. check it out. I'll hit that link and I'll follow you back. Always eager to see what you guys are collecting and to see what your thoughts on the books that you read are, and to see maybe you could recommend one through your reviews. This looks good, I want to check it out. Or maybe we read the same book and I'm like, let's see how his opinions differ from mine. So anyways, like I said, I hope you guys like what you like the video, like what you saw. Hit that like button. Check you guys out next time.